Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, nice to meet you. Hopefully you stay and stick around with me. If you're a returning subscriber, I missed you guys. I'm sorry for the little sabbatical I took, the little hiatus, but I had the baby, my beautiful, beautiful little daughter. And then obviously give myself time to recover and take care of her and soak it all in and all that stuff. So today, as you can tell by the title, it will be my labor and delivery story with some clips, some vlog type clips included, so you guys can actually see me that day and kind of experience it with me. So let me just jump right into it. Just jump right into the story. So I started getting, okay. So a little backstory, like a little background info. I had my baby shower July 5th, because I had the day right after July 4th. I had it July 5th, and I think I was 36 weeks pregnant, like on the dot on that day. 36 weeks, which I was already in my 9th month. So during my baby shower, I was good. I wasn't really in pain. I mean, I had a really good pregnancy, like throughout. I really didn't have harsh symptoms. I didn't vomit. My ankles didn't swell, stuff like that. Like I did pretty good. So my baby shower was the 5th. And for some reason, I just kept saying, I was like, she's not going to stay in until August 2nd. My due date was August 2nd. I just noticed I keep looking a lot over there. I'm sorry. Because that's when I think I look up. So my due date was August 2nd. She was supposed to be a Leo. And I was like, there's no way she's going to come out August 2nd. Because it's July 4th. And you just, I don't know, I just felt it. I was like, there's no way. And everyone that saw me at my baby shower was like, she's not going to wait. You're going to pop real soon. Probably in 2 weeks. And I was like, probably sooner. I don't know why. If you hear her, she's in the room with her father. So she's not alone. Do not judge me. She's in the room with her father. So what happened? Yeah, so that was July 5th. I had an appointment July 8th at my OB. I had a sono and stuff. And a while back I had a stress test. A non-stress test, I believe it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. And everything was fine. So this time around, they wanted to redo it because now I was a little further along. And they were like, oh, let's just do another non-stress test. Or just stress test, whatever. So they were like, let's redo that. I was like, alright, no problem. And I just went in for a regular checkup. At that point, I think I was going every 2 weeks, if not every week. It's been 2 months already. So I should have done this video sooner. But whatever, regular OB appointment. So they did the test, and that's when they strapped 2 monitors on you to see if you're having contractions and stuff. And she was like, you're having contractions, like pretty regularly. And I was like, really? I swear I didn't feel it. She's like, oh, you don't feel anything? I was like, no. I feel some pressure and stuff, but I figured that was me having Braxton Hicks, because the last time they did a stress test was because I was complaining about cramping or like contraction type feelings, and they're like, oh, it's just Braxton Hicks. So I thought it was still Braxton Hicks. So she was like, no, you're contracting. You're actually contracting, and you know, somewhat regularly. So just take it easy. Make sure you're not taking it hard on yourself at work or anything like that. Blah blah blah. Like, you know, don't do chores at home. She told me stuff like that. I was like, alright. So I remember getting in the car, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, I'm having contractions, and if I know her, like my baby, I was like, she's not gonna wait long at all. Like, she's not. Especially now that I heard that I'm having contractions, I was like, interesting. So that same day, right after the OB appointment, we went to Target. We bought a hospital bag. I had nothing ready because I still had 4 weeks left of my pregnancy. So I was waiting for my baby shower to see, you know, the things I got, the things I needed, stuff like that. So I didn't have a bag ready. So me and my boyfriend go straight to Target after the OB appointment. We get a good sized bag. And then I got stuff that I felt like I needed the process of elimination. Like, I saw these videos. My friend just had a baby. My other friend just had a baby. So I was like, what do I actually need? And the things they all told me I needed is what I got. So I got my hospital bag, some stuff. I got her some newborn stuff because I still hadn't bought newborn clothes for some reason. Like, I really was not that prepared because I'm like, I have a month left. I'm good. Blah, blah, blah. Cool, whatever. So me and him get home pretty late that day. I think we got home at 10ish. Okay, cool. So now into my actual labor and delivery. So we went to bed. Everything was fine. I wasn't really having crazy cramps or anything. Like, I wasn't having contractions that I knew were like, ooh, those are contractions. So cool. And I actually had work the next day because I had took off 2 days after my baby shower, and at this point I was gonna go into work that day. And I told my boyfriend, I was like, I'm just not gonna, I'm not gonna do anything like heavy lifting or anything at work, so I should be fine to go in. I'm gonna wait until the day she comes out, which I did. So whatever, we go to bed, and I wake up at almost 5 on the dot, and she always woke me up at 5 to pee, like always throughout my pregnancy. That was the time that she was like, ma'am, go to the bathroom. So I woke up at 5, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so comfortable. And at this point, I'm mighty pregnant, and I'm super big, and I just really didn't want to get up. And I was like, I'll just hold it until I wake up later, because at this point I was waking up every 2 hours or something. But then she just kept like, knock knock, go pee. I was like, alright, fine, Alexa, you win. So I turn around, rolled around like a potato in my bed, and I get up, and actually I was like, I don't know, for some reason I kind of like touched down there, like through my, like over my PJs, and I was like, okay, nothing's wet, because I was scared that maybe my water had broke. I was like, nothing's wet, so it's just pee, let me just go pee, because the feeling I had, the urgency was kind of weird. So that's why I checked, and I was like, alright, nothing's wet, my sheets are good, I'm good, cool. So I roll out of bed like a potato. I get up, and my bed, well, our bed is right here, and then it's like 5 steps, and it's her crib that we had just built that same day, no, a couple days before, like 2 days before. So as soon as I get off my bed, I take 2 steps, so I'm halfway to like the crib. My water just whoosh, completely and utterly breaks. And I was sleeping in like one of his shirts, so I have like PJ pants on or nothing, so it literally just whoosh. And I was like, what? So low key, I like kind of told myself, which is funny because I see a lot of people say this in their video, and I was like, how do you not know if you're peeing on yourself? I was like, did I just pee on myself? I was so confused. So I was like, alright, I'm bugging, let me go pee. So then I move, like I take 1 step, and it's like whoosh, another step, whoosh. And I was like, oh my god, my water just broke. My water just broke. And when I get nervous, I laugh like this, but I laugh, like I laugh. So I'm like, babe, my water broke. When I tell you, and my boyfriend isn't the smallest person in the world at all. He literally jumped from like on his side of the bed, and he like sleeps closer to the wall. Jumped from here to like the light fixture, like where you have to turn the light on. He's like, what? And he looks down, and it's just a ginormous puddle. Like ginormous. And he's like, and I'm like dying. I'm just dying of laughter. And I was like, my water broke. And he's like, alright, we have to go to the hospital. And then he like went and got the hospital bag that we had just bought, and he started like stuffing things in it that we needed, like diapers and the things we had just bought alongside with the bag. And I'm there laughing, and I'm like, I'm gonna go take a shower. And he's like, what? Are you crazy? We have to go to the hospital. And I'm like, well, it's not gonna happen immediately. Like, I knew she wasn't just gonna pop out. So I wanted to take a shower. I wanted to go, nice and clean. Like, when you see all that water, I was just like, ugh. But whatever, he didn't let me. Cool. So I called my mom, and I told her, I was like, I want a shower. My water just broke. Ugh. And I'm like complaining. She's like, what? Your water just broke? Are you crazy? Listen to your boyfriend, go to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh man. Okay, so now that I see them like panicking, I was like, okay, this is real. So then I stopped laughing as much. And then I actually started getting contractions by the time I was leaving. So at this point, it's like 5:30, 40-ish, 5:40-ish. And I was like, all right. So by the time we're walking to the car, I'm already getting contractions. And I was like, wow, this is real. I'm about to have my daughter a month early. When you're 9 months pregnant and I was in my 36th week, no, at that point I was in my 36th week and 4 days, she's considered early full term, I believe is the word for it. Because she is full, no, she was like 2 days shy of full term. 37 weeks is full term. So she was a couple days shy of full term, so she was early term. But to me that was so crazy that she was like a month early. Which I knew she would, God willing, she would be fine. Because I read a lot. I had all those apps. And it's like, at this point, your baby's lungs are fully developed. And everything's cool. Blah, 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 blah. So I was like, all right, God willing, everything's going to be fine. So I wasn't really worrying about that. I was just like, not ready. Mentally, I was just not ready. So cool, we go directly to the hospital. And we get there at 6. So they check me at 6. And the hospital from my house is like 10-15 minutes, and it was super early. It was 6 a.m. so there wasn't traffic or anything. So we got there, they check me, and they're like, what's your pain tolerance at right now, from 1 to 10, blah blah blah. And I was like, like a 3 or like a 4. And she's like, I remember the nurse, I'm always gonna remember this, she looked at me, she was, aw, I don't really know what a 4 is yet, but okay, you'll get there. And I was like, alright, cool. And she checks how dilated I am. And she's like, oh, you're just 0.5 centimeter dilated. Bruh. When you think you're at a 4 on the 1 to 10 scale of pain, and you hear you're 0.5 centimeter dilated, yo me quería matar. I was like, what? You must really mean it when you say I don't know what a 4 is, because this is crazy. So they start admitting me. It took literally 2 hours, I believe, to get into a room. So that was something different. So it took like 2 hours to get to a room. At that point, my parents had got there already. At that point, I had called out of work. Because like I told you, I was going back to work already. So I had to call out of work. My boyfriend had to call out of work. My parents were there. They called out of work. And I was like, wow, this is really happening. And also my birth plan was to do it natural. That's what I was going in with, and that was the hopes that I was going in with, was to do that natural. So we get into a room, and everything is slowly progressing or whatever. I got my IV. They were like, we're gonna give you a couple hours to see if you progress naturally, or if we should put you on Pitocin. Pitocin is a medication that gets your contractions going in more of a rhythm, to get the labor going, you know, to get your body dilated faster and stuff like that, whatever. I am not the doctor. So that was that. And then I think a couple hours passed at this point, and I believe they had started me on Pitocin, but a very low dose. And I just kept asking every nurse, at least every 2 hours, because it was like the afternoon already. And mind you, I got admitted at 6. I kept asking them every 2 hours, how far along am I? Like, how many centimeters, am I dilated? They're like, oh, don't worry about it. What do you mean? Like, I have to get to 10. And in my head, last I knew of, it's 0.5 centimeter. So you want to know, like, how far along you are. And it was just so aggravating. It was so aggravating. And then my uncle's a doctor, so then he's like texting my mom, and he's like, that's not right, they should be checking. And I'm like, I know they should. So then she's like in here telling me they should be checking, and I'm like, I know they should be checking, but I keep asking them, they don't want to do it. So I'm just like so upset at this point. Still, I do not have the epidural, and every time they walked in the room, let me know when you want the epidural, blah blah blah. Mind you, they knew that I wanted to go through it naturally. So it's like they push it on you super, like they super push that on you. which made me feel uncomfortable, because you could just be like, hey, I know you want to do a natural. If you ever get to the point that you need it, let us know. And that's it, you know? No, they keep pushing. Like, every single time they see, oh, you want the epidural? Like, no, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I need it. But cool. So that was that. So it got to the point that my actual, a physician assistant came in to check how far along I was dilated, to see if they had to up the Pitocin. So she checked, and at that point I was 4 centimeters, and I still had no epidural. So I was hoping, I was like, I hope I'm like 6, I hope I'm way more than halfway, this and that, and that way I could do this with no epidural. She told me I was 4, and she told me she had to up the Pitocin, so my contractions were only going to get stronger and last longer, I believe. But whatever, they were going to get stronger. And at this point, I'm in so much pain, and I'm so uncomfortable. And I had cried already a couple times, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. It was just so much. So as soon as I heard that I was 4 centimeters, I was like, I have way too much to go, and I'm in so much pain. So I asked for the epidural, and they had only one anesthesiologist, so they told me to let them know as soon as I wanted it, because even then it was going to take another hour and change probably. So I asked for it, and he comes in, he does the epidural. Mind you, it took him 4 tries or 4 attempts or whatever it may be to try to stick it in me and to have it be successful. I don't know his excuse. Like, he didn't even try to give me a reason, like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, you know, an excuse for it taking so many tries. And you have to be super, super still, and they tell you have to be still, this and that. No one can be in the room with you, so it's not even like you're holding on to like your partner or your mother or something. I just had the nurse there, and the nurse was nice enough to stay with me and like hold me in a way. So that took 4 tries, and it hurt every single time. So at this point, I'm like, this better be worth it, because the epidural hurt more than the contractions I was complaining about. So whatever, he does it, and he was like, oh, that was very, very tough for us to put in, so just make sure that you don't take it out. And I'm like, what do you mean take it out? I had the preconceived notion for some reason that an epidural was like a shot that they administered, and then you were good to go. It's something the epidural is something they put in your back, like you have a little tube, for lack of a better word, syringe, I don't know, you have a little tube in your spine, which is then taped up onto your spine and then like hangs over your shoulder, connected to a machine. And I was like, great. And in my head, I'm like, yo, with my luck, I'm gonna move too much when I'm in pain, and it's gonna pop out, and then it was all for nothing, whatever. And they give you a little thing that you could click for pain. So cool, he does that. I'm not gonna lie, after the epidural, I was so comfortable that I was able to sleep. I took a 2-hour nap, I believe, even though people kept coming in and out asking me questions. Like, yep, there's a whole bunch of stuff you have to sign, whatever. So I'm looking a hot mess, but a little update. It is now literally almost 6 on the dot. We have been here since 6 in the morning, and my water broke at around 5 a.m. naturally by itself. And I am now on Pitocin, on an IV, on the epidural, because it took like, I was trying to do this natural for like 8 hours, and then I was like, no, that's not gonna work. I wanted to break the bed, to be honest. So I am now on epidural. I don't feel anything, so this can take 29 billion hours, 29 minutes. I find it so weird that they haven't checked my dilation again, but they say it's because my contractions aren't close enough together, and I don't feel like I have to poop, and if I did, then that would be like a sign that the baby's coming. So yeah, I'm just excited to meet her. Hopefully she's here before tomorrow, because I'm not trying to do this for another 6 hours. But I'll keep you guys updated. I'll keep Alexi updated. And yeah, that's it. So I took a nap. And I wake up from the nap. And I was like, that's when my GYN had came in. And my actual GYN that worked with my OBGYN. So she was going to deliver my baby, whatever it may be. So she comes in and she checks me. Like, checks my situation. And she was like, oh, when's the last time you guys upped her Pitocin? And my nurse was like, we haven't. Like, she's still at 2, and I believe 2 is like one of the lowest levels. And she's like, what do you mean? Are you guys not trying to have her have a baby today? Like, she's been admitted since 6 a.m. This makes no sense. You guys should be upping it by this much every hour or every 2 hours, whatever maybe. She's like, no, up it to this. I believe she's at 4 or 6. No, she's at up it to 6. And let me know how she's doing, and we're going to keep monitoring her, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, where was this lady like 4 hours ago? Like, I needed that type of energy. Like, I needed someone to be like, all right, this is our plan. We're going to get this done. We're going to get your baby out in a healthy way, obviously. You're going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. No. Until she got there. So I was like, oh, thank God. She got there, and they upped it. And then last I had known, I was at 4 centimeters. And that was at some point in the afternoon. And I believe like 2 hours later or 3 hours later, I was like, I feel like I have to push. Like, I feel pretty ready. Like, pretty darn ready. So they were like, there's no way, you were just at 4. I was like, no, like, someone check me now. I feel like I have to push. And for some reason, this staff was just so against checking me. Oh, and something they kept saying was, the more we insert our hands, even with gloves, you're more likely to get an infection. So we'll just check you when it's absolutely necessary. Yo no entiendo. Like, I didn't understand. Like, how do you know? Oh, I think they kept saying that they would know when to check based on the contractions, like the contractions they were monitoring. But at this point, I was like, you guys have to check me. Like, now. So get someone ASAP now. So they get another PA at that point, another physician's assistant. Because my doctor, I believe, was delivering another baby. So another physician assistant comes in. She's like, hi, I know you want us to check you. I'm just going to check you really quick, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so she comes and she checks me. And she was like, you have to be a certain amount of effaced. You have to be 100% effaced and then 10 centimeters dilated in order for everything to happen. Effacement, I believe, is like how far their head has dropped or turned or some sort of nonsense, whatever. Point is, in my head, I knew I have to be 100% effaced, 10 centimeters dilated to get this going. So she checked me and she's like, you are actually 9 centimeters dilated and you are, I believe she had said I was 90% effaced. I'm lying. I was 80% effaced. And I was like, how can that even be? Like, I'm in so much. Oh, by the way, the pain came back, shorty. Like, I took a 2-hour nap. After that nap, very shortly after, I felt the pain. Like, the pain was back. The contraction pain was back. I don't want no one to tell me that, oh, it's pressure. That's what the nurses were telling me. Like, it's pressure. Because now that her head is descending into the birth canal, you know, things are stretching, blah, 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 and it's pressure. It's not pressure. It was the same exact pain I had before the epidural. So I'm like, I really just went through this, all this pain, getting the epidural, to just have the same pain. The only benefit was I had a 2-hour nap. Like, I had a little break in between. So that epidural thing, I don't know if it just didn't work for me or if it didn't work for my body. And I had asked, I'm like, is it possible that it just doesn't work on someone, like on some patient? I mean, yeah, but there's a very slim chance, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, up your epidural, like up it with the little thing they gave you. At that point, when I had asked her, I had already hit it like every hour. Because they said hit it, wait half an hour and see if it works. If not, then hit it again. I had waited an hour to see if it worked, and it didn't, so I would hit it. And at this point, I was like, this just makes no sense for me to even touch this thing. It makes no sense. So whatever. So she checks me. She's like, you're 9 centimeters, and you're 80% effaced. So what we're gonna do is sit you up, because at this point I've been laying down on the hospital bed. I'm gonna sit you up and have you sit for a while so she can come down more. I was like, alright, cool. At this point I am pleading to God for help. I am complaining in the worst type of way to my boyfriend, to my mom. My dad had gone home at that point because it was gonna take forever. At this point I believe it was like around 10 o'clock at night. So my mom was holding my hand, my boyfriend's holding my hand, I'm crushing their fingers. The pain is crazy. Like, the pain is really crazy. And I got the epidural, but I swear I did not feel any type of relief after that nap. So I felt everything. I felt the pain, the pressure. My body was like going low-key into shock. Like, I was so worried I was gonna faint. It was just so much. It was so much. And I have a pretty decent pain tolerance. I don't have a high pain tolerance, but I have a decent one. And wow, that was something. So I'm sitting for like half an hour. The same physician assistant comes in and she's like, okay, we're gonna check you, see how it's been going, blah blah blah. So she's like, you're 9.5 centimeters dilated, but you are still only 90% effaced. So she's like, honestly, you could wait another half an hour so she can drop down even more and hopefully hit the 100, and then we could start pushing. Or you can start pushing now, but I don't recommend it because you're probably going to be pushing for like an hour or even 2 hours, and we don't know how long you'll be pushing for, blah blah blah. So when I was sitting for that half an hour, I was so uncomfortable. I was in so much pain, obviously, because her head, like, I felt her head coming down like into place. Because when you're laying down, I guess you don't feel it that much, or I didn't feel it that much, but when I was sitting right, like straight up in a hospital bed, mid contractions, that pain was something else. Wow. So I was like, no, I have to push. She was like, are you sure? I mean, it's up to you, whatever your body's telling you. I was like, I have to push. I have to feel like I'm doing something, like I'm working towards her coming out. My body's telling me I have to push. Like, you feel pressure in, obviously, down there, but then you also feel it. Like, they kept telling me, the nurses, you know, you have to push when you feel like you have to poop. And you feel like you have to poop. Like, you feel so much pressure down there, and it's just so uncomfortable and it's so painful. So I was like, no, I have to push. I have to push. Like, you just know at that point. She's like, all right. So my mom's like, well, honey, if she's telling you to sit another half an hour, maybe that's what's best. And my mom's telling me this in Spanish. So thank God the PA, because at this point I had contractions way less than a minute apart. So I couldn't even speak to her to like try to explain it. So the PA was like, no, mommy, if her body's telling her to push, then I'd rather her push. Like, I'd rather her listen to her body. Cool. So my nurse came in, and then she started helping me push. And I was like, wow, this is really about to happen. Wow. So I started pushing at about 10. Yeah, for what I just said, it was like 10 at this point. So I started pushing, and obviously she helped me push. Like, she would tell me, when they're monitoring your contractions, they obviously get to a peak, and then they fall, get to a peak, blah blah blah. So she's like, when I tell you to push, it's at the peak of your contraction. I know you're gonna feel like you're ready, but wait until it's the strongest possible part of your contraction, and then we'll push, hold it for 3, let your breath go, push again, hold it for 3, and then relax until the next contraction. So that's what I was doing. So she's guiding me through it, my nurse. Not a physician assistant at this point, just my nurse that was designated to my room or whatever. So it was my nurse, my mom on this side, my boyfriend on this side, and I was pushing for dear life. And after a couple of pushes, my body started shaking, my teeth were clattering, like you heard my teeth. And I was pushing in the traditional way at this point, like with your two legs up in the stirrups and stuff, and pushing regularly, like laying back down or whatever. And I was pushing like that for a while. And then she told me, let's turn you over to your side, to your right side, and push that way. So then I'm literally on my side one foot is in the stirrup and the other foot my boyfriend had to hold, like the other leg, sorry. And then I had to hold onto a bar and like push my body into the bar and like push as hard as I possibly could. Oh my god, and that was just so hurtful. Like, oh, this is what I'm saying, the epidural could not have worked for me because the amount of pain I was in. And then all these videos I watched, people are like, I had the epidural and you know, it was so much easier and you're not in pain, you just feel pressure, and then your baby comes out and all the nurses tell you you don't need pain, so just take the epidural. I was in so much pain. So there's no way that epidural could have worked for me. Honestly, there was just no way. So I pushed on the side for a while for a certain amount of pushes that she told me to. She was there with me the whole time. Cool, and back on my back. And at this point, when I had gone back on my back, I was holding onto my own legs at that point, like pushing them towards me. And granted, my mom and my boyfriend were holding onto my feet, but like I was holding onto the back of my thighs and like pushing as hard as possible. And then you hear my mom and my dad. You hear my mom and my boyfriend like, she's coming, we can see her, this and that. And I was just like you're just in so much pain and in so much shock that all you think is push. Like, get this beautiful little human out. Like, get them out. So I kept pushing. And at this point, she's like, she had put her hand in, I believe. Like, she put her hand in to help rotate her head or, you know, like help facilitate things and stuff. And at this point, she was like, okay, I'm gonna go get your doctor. She's coming. Like, now. And I was like, oh my god. So she went and got my doctor that had just finished delivering the other baby. Came back. At this point, I believe it's like 11. And she had made a joke because she had told me, oh, you're probably not having, earlier in the day, she's like, oh, you're probably not having your baby until tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, tell your dad to go home and get some rest, which I had done at that point. So she had came back and she was setting up the room. You know, they were dropping the light from the ceiling and like getting all the medical stuff ready. And it was just like, oh. So she looks at me and she's like, that's so funny. You and the baby wanted to prove me wrong because it looks like she's going to be here before the end of the day. And I was like, she better be. It's 11. I'm not waiting until 12. No, she's going to be out. So the doctor comes in and she's like, okay. And then she's like, push. So I'm still pushing. The doctor came in. I think I pushed maybe twice or maximum 3 times. And then she was like, stop. And I heard like a and that was her, what it is, it's called an episiotomy, which is when they open you a bit more. So I didn't tear naturally. She had actually opened me a bit more so that the baby's head can come out if it's not coming out for whatever reason. So she had done an episiotomy, and then that you feel everything. So I'm saying the epidural was BS because I felt everything. So the baby just woke up, but again, she's with her father. So I got the episiotomy, pushed a couple more times, and my baby girl came out, and I was just so shocked. Like, I felt such like a relief and joy and nervousness, and it was just so much. And then they put your baby on top of you like right away, like literally right away. And they had prepped you a little bit before the doctor came in. She like undid my gown on the side, so my, you know, my chest was pretty much out. So when they put the baby on you, they're on your skin. So she put the baby on me, and I'm just sobbing my eyes out. I'm like, oh my god, like I didn't think I was gonna be that person, which is a beautiful thing. I'm not, you know, not knocking anyone, but I'm sobbing. I'm like, oh my god, my baby, she's so beautiful. And I'm like talking, and my mom's crying, and my boyfriend's just like, granted, he's not an emotional person, so that was like as much emotion as he was gonna show. So he's like, so I'm crying and I'm sobbing, and then Shorty, and by Shorty, my doctor, which I appreciate so much, started stitching me up. And my placenta came out right after, like super easy. It came out. I heard that some people have to like deliver their placenta and push a couple more times. It just came out like super easy. So then she was like, okay, I'm gonna go in and make sure you don't have any clots inside, you know, clean everything out, blah blah blah. So she puts her hand in, and like I feel her go like inside of my uterus. and that was icky, and that hurt. Not crazy, but it hurt. And she's like, okay, I just have to stitch you up real quick, 2 stitches. It's super quick. And so I'm like, alright. I think she's hungry. I'm gonna go get her a bottle and I'll be right back. Hold on. So, quick mom break. Took her a bath, gave her a bottle. Well, gave my boyfriend a bottle to give her, and then I'm gonna burp her. A lot of stuff, you know? But what? Yeah, so she had to stitch me up. I had to get 2 stitches, which they do right then and there. Obviously, I guess if you have an epidural, you're not supposed to feel it, or like an epidural that works. But I felt it. I felt everything. That was so painful to feel like a needle go through you, and then you feel when they like pull back to like close the stitch, and oh, so painful. And at this point, I was holding my daughter already. I was like we were still doing skin to skin a bit. Yeah, I believe I was. No, I still had her on me at that point because it was like right after the birth, like right after. So they hadn't like cleaned her up and all that stuff. So I still had her on me, and she was stitching, and I'm like, oh, like I had my baby on me, and I was like, oh. She's like, oh, just one more, and then she did one more, and then, oh, just one more. Like, I guess I don't know how stitches are done, but she told me I got 2 stitches from the episiotomy she had to do. So I didn't tear naturally, but they did the episiotomy, which gave me 2 stitches to heal from. So after that was done, they cleaned up my baby girl. I had done skin to skin with her for an hour. She was born at 11:12 p.m. on July 9th. She is a Cancer, and she was born 6 pounds 8 ounces, a little over 18 inches, and she's just so perfect. It's so perfect in like every kind of way, and it's just so crazy that I'm a mom. It's so crazy. But yeah, so my labor total lasted 17 hours, but I pushed her out in around an hour, a little over an hour. But that was that. I'm actually gonna go grab her so I can introduce you guys to my beautiful little daughter. Her name is Alexi, Alexi. Not Alexa, not Alexis, Alexi. And she's the love of my life. And hopefully you guys get to watch her grow alongside myself. She is also everywhere on my Instagram at this point. Now she is almost 2 months. She'll be 2 months September 9th. And I'm just super excited. I'm super in love with her. I will go into postpartum care and like a mini postpartum update, like breastfeeding, if I did it, recovering from the stitches, stuff like that, in a different video. This is just my labor and delivery. I will be adding those clips in either throughout the video or at the end of it, you know. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys decide if you want your own epidural. I don't know if I ever do have another kid. I really don't think I would, because what's the point of getting an epidural if it hurts that much? But let's not go back to that. So yeah, I will go introduce you guys to my beautiful daughter, and I'll be right back. So this is my beautiful daughter, Alexi. What happened? Oh, she wants to finish her bottle. But this is her, you guys, and she's the love of my life. And she is and was perfect at birth. Now, and I'm glad you guys get to meet her. She's a little aggy because she's hungry. But yeah, hold on. She don't like it that way. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my labor and delivery story / vlog, kind of, sort of. But Shorty needs to be fed and put down to sleep. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys later. Like and subscribe and leave a comment if you have any questions. And this is life of a mom / trying to be a YouTuber. So I'll see you guys soon. Love you guys so much. Bye.